I believe so much that women in digital technology space is important because women are doing amazing things, but unfortunately these things are not always visible. In some parts of Africa, you see the women shrinking back when there are opportunities to take up roles, or where there are opportunities for them to showcase the achievements and the great accomplishments on the role. My experience being the founder of the first Chief Information Officers Awards in Nigeria shows that women were not really putting themselves out there. And why is it important for women to showcase their talents, to showcase their accomplishments? I always say that women, we have to be visible, not only for ourselves, but also for the generation that is coming right after us. We always talk about the syndrome that we're trying to curb as Africans, where our youth are migrating to other parts of the world. And my belief is that if every person who is doing well, whether you're a man, and especially if you're a woman, if you're able to showcase what you're doing, this will inspire the next generation to stay and say, look at Abiola, she's being recognized for excellence in what she's doing. I will stay and get the same recognition, and I'll work hard and make sure that my talent remains in Africa. So it's an African movement. The women, the ladies in tech and leadership, is a catalyst for us to know that women are also doing remarkably well. I mean, look at Kigali, Rwanda, for instance. Rwanda is becoming iconic. Rwanda is beginning to show us that women put in the right places, they have equal opportunities to also create impact. Because it's not just about putting us where you think a woman should occupy, but putting us there for us to demonstrate that we're equally intelligent, we're equally competent, and above all, we can make impact and influence our ecosystem. So that is the objective of the Ladies in Tech and Leadership Network. Thank you. You know, when we started, the project was to help us interrogate ourselves. We started like in a conversational style. We had a meeting where like, women, why are you not getting into the awards? Why are you not interested? 90% of winners are men across Africa. And it started in Nigeria. But by the second edition, Ladies in Tech and Leadership 2.0, we saw that other African ladies were interested, so we took it to where? We took it to Kenya, we've taken it to Ghana, and now we're proudly in Kigali. So the essence of moving it around is to demonstrate the fact that if we want to see a change, it's really up to us as Africans. It's a club that is for Africans, it is in Africa, and obviously it's for Africa. So we've gone around Ghana, we've been to Nairobi, Kenya, and we're glad to be here, hosted by Kigali, Rwanda.
Okay, so based on your experience on this, what are really, in general, what are really challenges do women facing tech facing in tech? Yeah, the challenges.
First challenge is that we, as women, we are our biggest challenge. Why do I say this? We get intimidated, we pull back a lot, and unfortunately, the tech space is a back-end job. So if you're going to just be behind and you are comfortable with that, nobody will ever know it is you. Okay? And I was telling a story of how this whole project started. It started during COVID. I woke up one day and I said, look, this is not fair. This is unjust. How can some great set of leaders be moving us, helping us to navigate through COVID, and we don't even know them, we're not recognizing them? And guess what? I use Ebola as an example, as a reference point to say, during Ebola, everybody was recognized and appreciated. Even the security guards that helped to open the door for an infected, patient to quickly be attended to was celebrated. And I said, during that COVID, I was very loud about, I was very vocal. I said, look, these technology leaders, some of them are going into the daily numbers of victims and those who were dying, that we should recognize them. And I took a break from work. I'm a lawyer, by the way, nothing to do with the ecosystem. I had nothing. I just felt the passion to recognize excellence, because we were really amazed that we could move through the COVID, and transition so well. So when we started recognizing the ecosystem, we saw that the ladies were not coming out. They were not interested. And that bothered me personally. And the ecosystem I was serving also bothered them. So the first thing is lack of interest in being visible, in showcasing our achievement. There's nothing wrong with that. Showcasing what you have done so that the next boy, the next girl will be inspired to stay in this continent. So I believe the first challenge is we don't have that belief in ourselves. Second one for me is that sometimes we get intimidated. There's a role that is open and you have 500 male applicants and you have just 2 female applicants, because the female folks believe that they can't handle the role. Meanwhile, they are competent. Meanwhile, they are intelligent. And I believe that, look, what any guy can do, a lady can do it as well. Because it's not about our look or our gender. It's about what? Leading from the head and leading from your heart. So when you apply yourself with those 2 factors, I am intelligent and I am a lover of human, so I can work with a team, then we can go for it. So there are a lot of self-limitations, there are lots of self-doubt, imposter syndrome that women will go through, and of course a lot of other emotional family issues that we don't think we can, look for support and get out of those challenges rather. So if there's going to be a shift in our narrative, it's really up to us. The challenges are there, but we need to surmount them. We need to rise above those challenges, because they will always be there. It's the same for men, it's the same for women. Thank you. That's a very good question, and I think the answer speaks for itself. We're already seeing a bigger involvement, a deeper involvement of women. We're coming out. I don't know if we're listening more. Like, I'll always use your country as a reference point, that Rwanda is showing us and the rest of the world what is possible, what is achievable, and we are proud of that. And that's one of the reasons why we decided to bring this edition of the Ladies in Tech and Leadership to Rwanda, because we want to handshake with the women community here. We want to know how they've been able to boost their own confidence, their self-confidence, and of course the role of government in identifying talent, in identifying, high-profile talents that can fit the various roles in the ministries, in the departments, in the agencies of government, and also the private sector. Though there's a balance that we're seeing in Rwanda, and is inspirational for us. So to your question, there is a big leap now than 10, 20 years ago, when, like I said earlier, we're always at the back seats. And when women rise and get into this position, there'll always be a difference. You know why? We can multitask. That's the first thing. We can do mother, we can do sister, we can do wife, we can do boss, we can do president all at once.
Men can also do that.
No, you can't do father, you can't do.
We can be educators.
You struggle!
For you to
It was automatic. it's the way we're configured by God.
Okay.
But for you, you will struggle, you will do it, but you struggle. For us, I can switch now and I'm talking to my son and I look at you and I'm answering you intelligently at the same time.
You can
Because-
also cross God to raise God.
You know,
Same time.
no, but you will give it to us that it's not even our making, it's the way we've been configured, it's in our DNA to be able to do this thing. Then secondly, you know, that empathy that comes with just being a woman, like they call it the milk of human kindness, right? Ladies are prone to lead faster from the head and from the heart. It's just the way we are configured. So if you put a woman president out there, I promise you, if we had a Pauline Kagame taking over from Paul Kagame, this country will just go, is Rwanda to the world.
Yeah.
I promise you that, because women, we've been, you know, if you look at some of the previous, you know, female leaders, even in the socio-economic space, the organized private sector space, you see that women leaders, there's always this touch. I don't know what to call it, if it's divine, if it's intuition, if it's just the way, you know, we all do. Absolutely. So I feel there will always be a shift. I feel there will always be a difference if women were to go and occupy all these diverse sectors, from agri-tech to edu-tech to entertainment tech to fintech to, you know, manufacturing tech, name it. I always look forward to seeing women evolve and take over these roles and just always make a difference. They go mad, make a difference. That's mad. Thank you. It's been a great, amazing last 1 week for us, ladies in tech and leadership. We came as 35 from Nigeria, and we met and equally about 25, 30 Rwandans here. So we had an excellent event. We actually had a 2-in-1 event. The first event was the East African panel discussion on the practical adoption of AI. That was an open, all-inclusive, you know, event for everybody, and we had that. We had the CEO of the Rwanda ICT Chamber. They came, and then we had other speakers from the private and the public sector, just dimensionalizing how we can adopt AI locally. Again, as African. In Africa, you know, we bring a lot of importation of technology, but how are we managing harnessing this from the African perspective? That was the first part of the event. Then later on in the afternoon, the ladies got together and we decided to talk about moving from inclusion to influence. Yes, we've talked about inclusion all of our lives. Now we have the space. Now we're at the table. So what are we doing differently? So we addressed that, and we had the Minister of ICT, Esther Kunda. She was a keynote speaker at the Ladies in Tech session. And then we had other speakers from within Rwanda, outside, from Nigeria, from, you know, Kenya, also talking about how do we now look at impacting the ecosystem. Enough of the noise we make about ladies are not involved, the march, you know, regular annual march, International Women's Day, you know, away from the noise. What has happened between March and now? What have we learned from all the conferences, the workshop, the talk shops from March till now? We were able to just look at the various elements of what makes it an impactful ecosystem. Not just talking about inclusion, but I'm now included. I now have a seat at the table. What am I doing with it? And you know, the icing on the cake is when we closed the session on that, we also had a wellness coach talk to us about mental health. Because for us, Ladies in Tech and Leadership is a 360 ecosystem conversation. So we had Chantal, she's in Rwanda, come talk to us about mental health and how to watch out for triggers, stress management, and just looking after ourselves, because we can't pour from an empty bottle. You need to be full for you to fill others. So it was an impactful one. In total, we had about 150 attendants for both events combined, the morning event as well as the evening event. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. The youth are more than ready. Remember that the biggest unicorns in the world are young African startups that evolved and blew up and became the best unicorns in the world, the fintech that have emerged in the last 10 years. And every day there's an innovator somewhere. There's an incubator somewhere. There are people who are investing into the young ones and the great innovations they are bringing in Africa. So Africa is ready. We're getting a lot of support from across the world, across the continent. And I'm really excited because the next 5 years, even the AI adoption that we are projecting, we're going to see a breakthrough in an African-owned, developed AI, platform. And even beyond that, the other, digital revolution space, machine learning, and all the good to haves of this current ecosystem. The youth are driving it, and I'm proud that Africa has that youthful population that even the rest of the continent, the rest of the world is envious of. So from Africa to the world, here we come. Thank you. I think that's one of the objectives of taking this event out of Nigeria, because it's not a Nigerian movement, it's not a Nigerian mission, it's an African mission. And honestly, I wish there were like 5, 6, 7, 10 of us doing this every time. I'm leaving Kigali now. Let another group that are catalysts for that African digital transformation come next week. Another group, go to Kenya. Another group goes to Morocco. And we are all raising visibility. We are all amplifying this message. And somehow we are all connected. Like, we are open to collaboration. In fact, it's at the thrust of what we do. The core of my project is collaboration, because when we started, like I openly disclose now, I'm a lawyer. I was doing legal work, but the interest in digital transformation was in my heart, but I couldn't do it alone. So I had leaders, I had volunteers, I had people who saw what I was trying to say. They even understood it better than me, who said, look, let's support you, like an Ignaz. Let's support you, let's help you. And now we're in 15 African countries taking this message around. So I believe that our amplification, and with the help of ecosystem partners like you, is to become loud. And things you hear, you see, you touch every day becomes part of you. We are built every day by the influences around us. So if the message out there is clean, is effective, is powerful, someone will plug into it. Let me give you an example. Every time we are organizing events in my ecosystem, my community, I always say to my people, I say, look, let this event be so simple that if my mother was in the room, she will understand what we're saying. And she'll be able to leave the room and use the message from the event to change her life. So we go high, we come low. We stay at the middle sometimes, but we think about everybody, bringing everybody on board. Diversity, inclusion. So if everyone takes that on board, it doesn't have to be technical all the time. We're talking about coding, no, not all the time. Sometimes we go that high when we're talking about cyber security, for instance. You need to bring it down, you need to break it down, so that everyone, even holding a phone, will understand that I need to improve my cyber hygiene practices. It's like you're brushing your teeth and somebody's telling you scrape your tongue, and you're like, okay, I didn't used to scrape my tongue, but now I get a tongue scraper. I tell the faculty, resource people, I say, look, break even cyber security down in such a way that my grandmother will leave feeling like I'm fulfilled. Now I know I'm going to change my narrative. So to your point, we need that synergy, we need the collaboration, and we should never stop talking about the change we want to see. Oh my God, media is the power. Media is the engine room. Media is the, I'll call it our biggest leverage. Okay, so imagine if I just came to Rwanda and I just go tomorrow without being here. Everything I've said will not go beyond my hotel room. So I believe that the partnership with media is really important. You know, we should put some attention on it. In fact, this meeting should have been the first as we landed, so we're sorry about that. We should find ways to always, you know, synergize and ensure that the story that you are taking from us is delivered even more powerfully than we are saying it. I can imagine reading an interview, and sometimes when I read an interview, I'm like, oh, this is well put together. Oh, you know, the construction, even the language, the grammar, everything brings out the things in my heart that probably these lips didn't say well. So I believe in media partnership. I believe in media support, and for me, it's a win-win. You know, we support the media to also give the best in every way we can. We handhold with them every inch of the way, and just, you know, keep forging and nurturing the relationship with media. Media is our powerful tool, is our North Star, if you may. So we really need that support every time, not just sometimes, every time.
Madam Abi, on behalf of Isango Star TV Radio, I thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.